What's going on, guys? Devo's World back here again, and we're starting a new adventure on the YouTube channel. We are now going to be doing a lot of videos of just everyday life, working, vlog style kind of thing, and a whole lot of camping trips we're getting ready to do. You're going to see a whole lot. Now, I run my own contracting company now, Devotion Contracting, and we're now going to be just showing you what we go through on a daily and some of the things we do. Right now we're in the shop. It's pretty messy, but we're gonna get the old backhoe here, get her fueled up. It's an RK24 Royal King tractor. We've had it for a little bit. It's got the front loader bucket and so on and so forth. We're gonna be getting this baby fueled up, and we're gonna go start digging on my property. We gotta clean up a bunch of hill slip. We've been cutting a high wall. It's not really a high wall, but if that's what you want to call it, it's a high wall. We're going to be cutting it, cleaning up it, and getting a ditch dug so we can keep the water off the property. So, all right, let's get at it. Okay, the easiest process I found for refueling this thing and not getting diesel fuel everywhere is I take this jug and a funnel with diesel. Like I said, guys, excuse the mess. I take my little jug and my big old jug, and I do spill some, but it's not near as bad when I just try dumping it straight into the tractor. Diesel is so expensive, you don't want to waste it. Slow process as well. It's a pretty day here in Kentucky today. It's pretty warm. It's like 70 degrees. We've had a whole lot of cold here recently, and it's just now starting to get pretty and get warm. Okay, let's see how we're looking. Oh yeah, perfect. All right, now put the lid on this puppy. Take our jug. I always keep a little rag right here to be able to clean the diesel spill at the fuel tank. Now, we'll just take our funnel, put down in the tractor, and we'll pour the remainder of this jug in the tractor. This garage is really toasty at the moment. Okay. Alright, now she's all refueled. Alright, now we start the warm-up process. Always when you park these things, normally we set our backhoe down, we set our stab jacks, and always make sure your bucket is on the ground. On this one, it is a little different. You gotta hold in your clutch here, turn your key. We've put 200 and some hours on this thing so far, 223. All right, now we're about out of full tank, plenty good enough. Now your foot on the clutch. Now we let it warm up. Okay, now as it's still warming up, I normally let it warm up about 5 or 10 minutes. Now we'll go ahead and put up our stabs. Now we'll raise our backhoe attachment. Alright, now we'll just continue to let it warm up just a little bit longer, and then I'll give you guys a little briefing and rundown. Okay. Now we're going to give you guys a little briefing and a rundown. This pile of dirt here is a pretty big old pile of dirt. If everything goes right today, I should have a dump truck coming, and we're going to load him and go ahead and take all this away for field dirt. Most of this is mud. A lot of it's good soft stuff. I mean, it's a pile and a half. We've had some hill slips and some landslides. There's a lot here. I'd say there's at least, he hauls about 4 ton at a time with his dump truck. So I'd say we might have 2 loads here. But before I get done today, there'll be more than 2. Now, here's the high wall we're cutting. All this right here is a absolute mud fest, and has been. So we gotta have a ditch in here. As you can see, it's real wet. There's a small, right here's really wet. There's a small co-seam here, and a lot of this right here is clay. So the water is holding in the clay and the coal. This is some real junky coal. It's nothing worth even trying to burn. All this has to be cleaned up, and there's quite a bit here. Got to be cleaned up, and then we got to cut the ditch line all the way down through here and connect it to where I started on the other ditch. Now most of this right through here is pretty good soft stuff, but as you can see, it is still wet here. Just all around this high wall is just wet, and the bottom is solid clay, so it's kind of hard to do anything with. Yeah, as you can see, literally just a mud fest. Give you guys a little tour. So the plan is for the ditch line to run all the way down beside this high wall here. We already started a little rough estimate all the way down through there. It's gonna be a pretty big wide place. I'll show you guys the other side where it was a real mud fest. As you can see, down through here was a real mud fest. It was bad. It's still a little wet, but once we get that ditch cut, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. We're gonna take and fill all this in with some fresh field dirt, about like this right here. Get all this filled in, and then we're gonna grass seed it. And there's just a whole lot of dirt that needs to be put here. We've dumped a whole lot. This area is it's pretty rough from mud and water, but by the time we're done, it'll all be cut right. So I guess first things first, let's go ahead and get this muddy mud out of the bucket, so we'll be able to get full bucket capacity. Okay, now we're gonna get the mud out of the bucket the best we can. As you can see, it's got a whole lot of leftover mud and dirt. Okay, that's most of the mud out of it. There, clean. There's quite a little bit in there that could cause issues on not getting full buckets and taking longer. Once that mud gets in your buckets and it sticks, it's hard to do anything. So now, let's get started on moving some dirt. Okay, now, I'm gonna lock this puppy, 4-wheel drive, 4 low. Let's get in and get us a load. And the audio might be pretty hard, so I don't know how much backhoe footage I'm gonna be recording. It's a pretty good load right there. And most of this is all dry stuff. Most of it. But a lot of it still is wet and muddy. What's wet and muddy will be getting dumped over the hill. Now, we are approaching the dump site. There we go. One load down. I'm gonna be, I'm charging up my GoPro right now. So we'll be, hopefully be able to get some better angles. And that way I can wear either my helmet mount or my chest cam mount. And we'll be able to hopefully get a whole lot better video quality. Getting a little rough because where the clay is sloped the way it is, we're getting at an angle and not getting full buckets. So our next bet will be, we got to cut all this clay down the best we can. And hopefully, once everything works out, everything will be nice and smooth once we get done, and then we'll plant grass seed. I gotta get this GoPro up going. Come to the conclusion, my neighbors probably hate me because all they hear all day long is equipment running. So I'm probably disturbing them all the time. Don't ever really want to get too close. You can always dump it straight over, but it's honestly a little dangerous. You don't ever really want to get too close to that edge because all the dirt you pack down could possibly slip. I think we're going to leave most of the dirt on the left over here. So all the good dry stuff, hopefully I can just spread it and cover all that water for now. Just cover over it. And once I get this ditch dug in, then we're not going to have this problem. Pretty cool videos coming up on the channel. We got a really awesome camping trip. Me and my brother and my little cousin's getting ready to go on here soon. So you guys stay tuned for that. We're gonna build us a new little campsite. There's no campsite on the channel. And we got some cool stuff coming up from that too. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna video the whole experience. Okay, I'm gonna haul this load of dirt, and then I'm gonna give you guys a little break from the dirt, and I'm gonna update you guys when we're about ready to start digging the ditch. Give you guys a little update. So most of the dirt is moved. We just got this pile here near the house trailer. It's not that big of a pile, not that bad to clean up. It's pretty, I mean, it's damp here, but it's not a mud fest like it was. But as you can see, you know, this water it's all in this mountain. So I've come up with a conclusion. Once I get the backhoe set up to start digging the ditch here, I'm gonna take some of this off. But as you can see right here is probably one of the wettest spots. I mean, it's pretty wet right there. But I'm thinking about coming maybe, I mean, it's fairly I mean, it's all wet, you know, the clay, but it's fairly damp right here. But right here's where it's really wet. I think I might come right in here and dig just a pretty big deep hole. And that way that hole can fill up with water. And might even bring the hole on back. Kind of like a little pond deal. And later on we could, you know, use it as a decoration and decorate it up real nice and make it a little pond. But maybe start here and come all the way over to here. Dig a big hole, let that hole fill up with water. And then we'll cut the ditch all the way down this side. And once we cut it, it'll be right close to the bank as I can get. It'll run all the way down through here. And we'll connect it into this one, which this one's got to be re-cleaned out and dug deeper, which shouldn't be that bad. Hopefully it'll be easier to get footage running the backhoe attachment. It's kind of hard with doing the loader bucket. But right here here's really wet. I mean, that's a lot right there, nothing but mud. All right, so now I guess we'll get set up and we'll dig this big hole first, and then we'll go from there. I might maybe 3-4 foot deep, and that way we can see what we're lacking. And if this is coming, if water starts coming in fairly quick, because you can see right here it's already getting a little wet on the ground, but if water starts coming in pretty quick, then we know right here is our main problem, which I think right here is the main problem. Also, before we get set up, I have put a whole lot more dirt here. Now, I mean, it's a pretty good pile. And so it's probably 5 foot high. And oh, here's my trusty steed. But yeah, it's a little update. Now let's get set up and let's get digging these holes. Okay, I've come to a conclusion. It's gonna be hard to video the backhoe work. So I'm just gonna get a bunch done and I'll update you guys from time to time. Okay, give you guys a little update. The hole is working out pretty good, but man, digging in this rock and this clay, it's hard digging. This ain't no giant piece of machinery, you know, it does the job, but my plan is to keep it in line with this wall here and wrap it on around right to there. So, you know, make it look as nice as I can. And then eventually we'll put rocks around it when it fills up with water and a little statue in the middle. And that way we'll have a ditch line and a nice little pond right here. Okay, we're now set up over here. We got that little hole dug. It might be deep enough once I get it cut back. And I just gotta cut it back to there where it's real wet, and then I can start cutting my ditch. I don't know if we'll get to that all in this video. This might be a 2-part. But I'm gonna get this dug and I'll update you guys once I get this hole dug. Okay, everything looking pretty good. Yeah, everything's, it didn't go as I planned because it's in solid rock, but it's almost a foot deep all through here. Yeah, all this is just, it's solid rock in here. That clay and the rock mix, I mean, that stuff, it's just hard to do anything with. That's pretty much what you're digging. So, I mean, the angle, it's the way I want it. It runs right down here, and then right there where that dirt's piled up, as you guys can see, I get down in here, we're gonna cut a ditch all the way down this high wall in the next video. See how wet this is right here? And I mean, the water's already seeping out. And I haven't even really touched the bank. Just a little bit I took off. It's so wet. So hopefully my issue will be fixed now. I mean, hopefully all the water, most of it will stay right here. And then we're gonna figure out, I'm gonna make a little, once I get the ditch cut, I'm gonna make a little dam system so we can keep this as a pond as well. And then once it, you know, once it fills up and it gets so full, I'm gonna make a little dam system where I can open a little door or something and let it flow. Okay guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff like this on this channel here. So stay tuned. A lot of cool stuff up and coming. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. And it's been Devo's World. Peace out, everybody.